Good afternoon to all the KG1 and KG2 parents. My name is Ms. Coba, and I'm going to do a presentation to show you what you can expect of the school and of your child during their year in KG1 and KG2. First of all, I would like to make you attend of the KG Academic Leadership Team. We have Mr. Fias, who is the director of the school. We have Ms. Sandra Kellick, who is the primary principal, Mr. Mike Spires, the Deputy Primary Principal, and Ms. Rachel Poulton, who is the PYP Coordinator. This year, in KG1, we have 4 classes. It's myself, Ms. Coba, Ms. Sam, Ms. Sarah Jane, and we are welcoming a new teacher, Ms. Rosheen, who are joining our KG1 team this year. Then we also have Ms. Alia for Arabic Studies and Ms. Rasha for Islamic Studies. KG2 will have 5 classes this year. We've got Ms. Haley, Ms. Carly, and Ms. Claudia. And this year we've got 2 new teachers joining us, Ms. Helen and Ms. Nicola. Ms. Majida, she will be in charge of Arabic Studies in KG2, and Ms. Rasha, Islamic Studies in KG2. Before we start with going into academics and things that is needed, I would like to explain to you how we as a school has put measurements in place to ensure the safety of your child during this difficult time. We have ensured that we follow all the guidelines stipulated by the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health. KG1 and KG2 classes will be divided into groups of 10, which will be called a bubble group, and there will be 1 staff member designated to that group. We will make sure that the children stay in those groups, and that is the group they will have until the situation changes. Children will be allocated a chair and a table, and that will be their designated workstation. And to make sure that we don't share resources, we will be giving you a list of stationery that we would like you to bring in. That's just to make sure that we don't contaminate or spread any viruses throughout the school. Resources and toys that are used in the classroom will be sanitized daily and after each use. All teachers and staff will wear face masks or shields, and children will be supported in the bathroom by staff wearing the necessary personal protective equipment. Meal times, snack and lunch will happen in class. Children whose food are supplied by the cafeteria, their food and their meals will be delivered to the class, so there's no need for them to move out of the classroom. Each child is expected to bring a water bottle filled with water. We are not supposed to have the water coolers in the school, so please bring a full bottle of water to school. Hand washing will be done before and after each meal, and there will be no sharing of food. This is due to the COVID situation, plus the fact that we have children who's got allergies. Please ensure that your child brings enough food to school for snack and lunch. The hand sanitizing stations will be all over the school, and the children will be encouraged to use this. There will also be regular hand washing after certain activities or after activities where they worked with their hands. So, coming back to the curriculum. As you know, we are an IB school, and we follow the primary years program in KG and primary school. The primary years program is also then supported by the early years foundation stage, and these two are aligned. We use the inquiry circle to start a unit of inquiry, and as you can see, we start off in week 1, which will be tuning in. That is where we look at a topic and we see the knowledge the children have. Then we go forward to finding out, sorting out, gathering further, making conclusions and taking action. That is a whole 6-week cycle that we follow, and by the end of that 6-week cycle, the children should have gained or would have gained more knowledge on a specific topic. There are 6 transdisciplinary themes that we cover within the year. KG1 will cover 5 and KG2 will cover 5. Each transdisciplinary theme has got a different heading. So for instance, if we look at how the world works, that transdisciplinary theme won't be covered by KG1, but it will be covered by KG2. And KG2, for that transdisciplinary theme, will be looking at the properties of materials and how we can determine what it's used for. Each transdisciplinary theme is different for KG1 and KG2. So if we look at who we are, For KG1, we are going to look at families and that they give us a sense of identity. But KG2 will be looking at people explore the world through their senses. So even though it's linked to who we are, it's two different aspects that we are looking at. As I said before, the PYP and the EYFS, we've aligned. So in EYFS, there are 7 learning areas, and each learning area is specific to a KG1 and KG2 child, and all learning areas should be looked at daily and weekly and through a unit of inquiry. To match the EYFS to the PYP, we have aligned them. So as you can see on this slide, for PYP, the heading is language, and then we support that through communication and language and literacy from the EYFS strand. Personal, social and physical development, that is supported by EYFS for personal, social and emotional development and physical development. Mathematics stays mathematics. Social studies is supported by understanding of the world from the EYFS, and arts in PYP is supported by expressive art and design. During the course of a day, we look at how we can implement most of these learning areas into the activities that we plan for the children. There is continuous assessment happening in a KG1 and KG2 class. We start off our unit of inquiry with a formative assessment. That is where we gather information to see what the children know about a certain topic. And then at the end of that unit, we do a summative assessment, which is similar to the formative assessment, to see how much their child has learned. So we can make a comparison between the beginning of the unit of inquiry and the end of the unit of inquiry. These assessments are done through rubrics, checklists, and continuous teacher observation. We will be using a digital platform called Seesaw. Most of the KG1 children that went up to KG2 this year are very familiar with that, because that is the application that we use for online learning. This is also a great tool for us to use in the class, because that is a platform where we can record the children's progress. So each parent will be sent through a form that you will be able to connect to Seesaw as a parent through the parent portal, and that is where the teachers will then upload photographs of your child's progress and attainment within the class, and you can keep track of how your child is doing. It's also a very nice way for you as as a parent, to see what is happening in the class and how your child is coping, especially at the moment where parents aren't allowed to come to the classrooms. So, what will my child learn in KG1 and KG2? Our whole philosophy is inquiry-based education, and the best way to do inquiry-based education is through play. But this is structured play, so the teachers plan certain activities for the children to reach a certain outcome or objective. Now, KG1 and KG2, there are certain standalone areas that we cover. For instance, KG1 will start with phonics lessons, which we call standalone. They are separate from our normal PYP unit of inquiry. We also start a reading scheme in KG1, which then will follow through into KG2. In KG2, the read-write-ink scheme is used formally within the class setting. They will also continue with our reading scheme that we started in KG1, and in KG2 they do more formal maths activities, and that is called kangaroo maths. So those are the differences between KG1 and KG2, which is just a bit more structured lessons in phonics, reading, and then the maths for KG2. Arabic and Islamic studies will also be given to the children daily and weekly. Arabic language is there for the Arabic and non-Arabic speakers, and Islamic studies is for the Muslim students. Ms. Alia and Ms. Majida and Ms. Rasha will be able to give you more information once we are up and running about what will be covered during the Arabic and Islamic lessons. Technology. As you know, we are a one-to-one iPad school. We use the iPad as an integration into most of the learning areas, and we try and use it as often as possible. This is a technological world that the children are growing up in, and the sooner we can start using these, the better. Now, a lot of parents think that by just giving the child the iPad, we send them off and go and explore the iPad or whichever device they use. That's not the case. We have an IT integrator, Ms. Kerry Lee, who's got a whole policy set up for the things that we are supposed to use, the objectives we have to meet, and the children learning how to use and correctly apply these applications. There is a technology agreement that we would like you to have a look at, sign and send back. This will be sent through to you in due course if you haven't received it yet. Now, a big thing for KG1 and KG2 is an independent child. What we need by an independent child is they're able to dress themselves, they eat independently. When they come into school, they carry their own bag from the car or the bus to school. They unpack their bag once they get to school, and they can come and choose their own activity once they enter the class and complete it, see it through. Those are characteristics of an independent child in KG1 and KG2. A child that's independent is a confident child. And as a child discovers what he can and can't do, he builds confidence and motivation for learning. We will support your child in class as well, and we will continue working on their independence and confidence. The more confident the child is, the more happier he will be able to experience his time in KG1 and KG2. Now, what does my child need for school? First of all, we need a change of clothes. It does not have to be in school uniform. It can be any clothes that your child have at home. It can be trousers or shorts and a t-shirt and underwear. We would like you to fold these and put it in a zip seal bag, because these things will be kept in your child's school bag. We will ask you to please supply us with a reusable water bottle, not the 500 water bottles that we can throw away. We are trying to build the children to understand that we are also working to save the environment, so reusable bottles is far better. Your child will need a school bag, not necessarily the Ajax school bags, any school bag that they like. We would also like you to purchase a hat for later on when we are going outside during outdoor play. A small lunchbox, and in the lunchbox, please make sure that if you are sending food from home, that there's enough food for snack and for lunch. We are a healthy eating policy in our school, so please no chocolate, no crisps. Please put in fruits, sandwiches, vegetables like cucumbers, chicken nuggets, anything that will promote healthy eating. It also has an effect on your child if they are eating a lot of sugar, and that will also affect their concentration in class, which in fact then has an effect on their ability to concentrate and focus. We urge you to please not provide nuts for any of their meal times. We are a nut-free school, as there are so many of our students that have nut allergies. For the use of the iPads, we would please ask you to provide us with a set of headphones. If you can please mark the headphones with your child's name, that will really help us. And you can also show your child where their name is on the headphones so that they know what to look for. There's a picture on this page to show you the type of headphones that we would like. The headphones that will be able to fit over their head and give them secure sound. The little ones that we get with an iPhone that you just pop in your ears, it's actually not very good for the little children to use. We would also like you to send in a printed photograph of your child, because it's such a strange way of starting school. It's not the normal way. We would like the photograph of your child to be sent the first day, and we're going to start using that as a talking point to settle your child so he can show the other friends in the classroom. So that's a very important thing that we would like you to send in. Please make sure that you label every single item that your child's sending into school. Please consider the fact that something like a school sweater, every single child has one. They're all wearing the same size. So if it's not labeled and it goes missing, it's difficult for us to know which sweater belongs to which child. As I've mentioned before, with the COVID-19 and the sterilization and the distancing that we have to apply in the classroom, we are going to ask you to send in a set of stationery for your child. We have followed ministry instructions that no stationery should be shared between children. So what I would like for each of the KG1 and KG2 parents to send in is the following. A set of 12 jumbo felter pens. Now jumbo is bigger than the regular size. It's just easier for the children to grip as compared to the very thin felter pens or pencils. So a set of jumbo felter pens, a set of jumbo colouring crayons, blunt nose scissors, that's the one with the rounded edge at the top and it's not sharp, 2 grey pencils that they can use for drawing, an eraser, a sharpener, 2 large glue sticks, a A4 size notebook with blank pages, that means no lines on it. We would like you to place these in a large zipper seal bag with your child's name on. It would also be useful if you would label every single pen. I know it's a lot of labeling to do, but again, if it goes missing or if it's lying on the floor by accident and dropped, we know who it belongs to. We would ask you to please apply a painting apron. It does not have to be a bought one. If you have an old big t-shirt that the child can put on over, that's also perfect. Now this year, because of the social distancing, and your child will be allocated to a chair and a desk, that will be their workspace, to keep their things in one spot, we're going to ask you to please supply us with a standard size white pillowcase. What we will do then is we will hook it behind their chairs as a chair bag, and your child can put all their own stationery in that chair bag, and that's a way to keep their tables clear. That's the list of stationery that we would request from you. Now, in the mornings when your child arrives at school, we are going to guide them and show them the arrival routine. A child that is independent is able to take out their own water bottle and place it in a specific area where they know they can find it during the course of the day to have a sip of water. They will put their bag away in their own specific cubbyholes, and they will be able to do self-registration. Then they will enter the classroom setting, and what's very important to us is that they learn to greet the people that they see around them in their classroom. If you can talk to your child about these things as well, it will just give them a sense of security and confidence to know that these are the things that we follow. Now, departure at the end of the day, again, we will guide and support the children to ensure that by the end of the day we need to pack our own bags and make sure everything is in our bag that belongs to us. Children will be collected from their respective classrooms and they will be brought to you as the parents waiting in the front entrance. How can I help my child at home? For any child coming to school for the first time or moving from KG1 to KG2, there's great excitement until they enter the school building and then they realize, oh my goodness, I've got to stay here. So to make the first day or the first week or the first 2 weeks as smooth as possible, start talking to your child at home, explaining the difference between home and school, why we go to school, encourage a love for learning. Talk to your child about eating and drinking habits, that at home and school, it's the same. We need to sit down, we need to find a quiet space, we can start eating, when we're finished, we tidy up. And also, please let your child know who will be picking them up that afternoon from school. Sometimes children develop an anxiety because they're not sure who will pick them up. So just communicate to your child that even though you're dropping them off at school, you will come and collect them, or their nanny will come and collect them, or dad will collect them. A child that knows and is secure in the knowledge of who's picking them up from school will be a calm, confident child. And again, as before, encourage independence. If your child for the first time can put on their own shoes, make a big effort, clap hands and tell them how much you appreciate them doing things like that. The more encouragement the child gets, the more he will boost his self-esteem, and it will become a fun thing for them to do to become independent. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to welcoming all our new children in our classes. Lastly, talking to the KG1 parents, I do want to mention that seeing that we've got kids coming from pre-KG and new students coming in, I would like to remind you that we have a staggered start. That means for each class in the KG1 year group, we will have certain students coming on Sunday and on Tuesday, and the other half of the students coming on Monday and Wednesday. Now, due to the COVID situation, it is important that you please stay on the stipulated days as given through to you via email to ensure that we don't run 2 classes on the day with staggered start. We need to have half the class in a smaller group with enough staff members to securely and confidently introduce your child to their classroom and their surroundings. If you are unsure about the day that your child is supposed to come to school, please can you contact the main reception area or speak to Ms. Saima, Ms. Sandra's personal assistant. I am now going to play you a video that showcases our wonderful Ajman Academy. And welcome back to all our previous students, and welcome to the Ajman Academy family to all our new students. We look forward to seeing you.
Welcome to Ajman Academy.